my lovely viewers. Long time no see. So this is the first live streaming I've done for this winter, and I hope I could do more of this kind of video on live stream so that you guys can get to chat with me live. Unfortunately, I'm unable to answer your question right away because the camera is facing the other side. So I can't really see you, but maybe I'll do like this where you guys can get the stuff now when you can and still available. So first of all, I'm going to start off how to keep our house warm. Uh, and later I'm going to touch about how to cook without the electricity. Seriously, this is a very important topic. Um, a lot of YouTubers, they are doing this, but then I find that it is a lacking of interaction. Uh, you can ask me after the live streaming in the comment, so I can answer you right away. If you are new here and here for the first time, my name is Esti. I am a Singaporean living in Sweden for the past 23 years. So power failure. This is what I'm most afraid of because I cannot imagine without electricity. So basically how I keep myself, our house warm is maybe we have to, be more advanced. Here in Sweden, the winter can be up to minus 30 degrees Celsius. And this year, a lot of people told me the winter is going to be really cold. So we really have to prepare. Hi. So first, in Sweden, we have 3 layers of windows, 3 layers of glass. So that is quite safe. But there are also houses that don't have 3 layers. They have only 2 layers. So you want to make sure that your curtain is thick enough, right? Because if your curtain is too thin, like this one, I can show you. This is a Christmas curtain, which is not so thick. So find a thicker curtain that has, possible double layer. And then, you get to have some residue sometimes in the winter. So what you can do is you can get this kind of foam. Let me see if I can find, if you can find this kind of foam, yeah? And then you just cut them according to the size of the window and then put this kind of foam, because this one is quite thick and you can buy them, or sometimes you can even get them for free in some shops, where they want to get rid of packaging. So you can just go to the shop and ask them, hey, do you have this or not? Instead of throwing it away, can you give it to me? Or if they want to sell it, buy from them, because it's definitely worth. The problem with this is that because it's cold outside and it's hot inside, right? So there tends to be residue. So make sure you don't glue it on the window. You just have to place them on the window, and then you have to check them like once a day if there's any residue. Because if you don't check if the residue, then you are going to have mold. And then what I always would do, even nowadays, even we don't have what do you call that, blackout. What I do is that I keep my window shut. Like now, LG in our bedroom, we have this vertical dark, 100% dark blind, right? So we just put it on. Neighbor probably thought that we are still sleeping all day. But it is okay, because then you will save out, you will block out the cold air from the window. Even though it is 3-layer thick, you still would get cold from the outside, because right now we are around minus 10, 11. So it could be really good, because I can really feel the difference after I put the blind down and then I close my window. I felt like, it's much warmer. I don't have to put up a lot of heat on my element to heat up the room. And this also would also mean save energy and electricity. And electricity nowadays is crazy. It's very expensive. Not now yet up in the north, because we do produce more than we need. So right now we don't have that problem yet. Hopefully it will stay that way so that we could enjoy, cheap electricity. So I think window is really important. And when it is in the daytime, if there's sunlight, open up the window and let the natural sunlight and the heat come in. Right now, in Sweden, our sunlight is very limited. It already get dark at around 2 o'clock, so we don't have that privilege, unfortunately. But otherwise, keeping this shut off definitely would save. Let me just go to the front here so you can see me. So, and then also doors, yeah. The door, sometimes you have these gaps, right? I'm going to show you how our door look like, so you have an idea how it looks like. So, I don't know if you can see from here. This door is actually not our main entrance door. Our main entrance is over there, all right? You can see it's about 1.5 meters, but in this air, it's very cold because of the external air. So luckily we have a door frame here. So I asked LG, install this one because this will keep your cold air from coming into the house, right? So, but you notice there is gaps on the floor. What to do, right? You can either get this kind of foam, which I suggest, and then, or if you don't have this kind of foam, use a towel like that, and then just put it on the floor. Cover the opening. So you know that the temperature, cold air will not come in for sure. So that's one way you could do also. And also, I like to, what do you call that? Have wools. I find that these are very, very comfortable to sit on because, just imagine if your sofa is cold and if it's leather worse, your seat's going to be really cold because no power, you can't sit on your sofa. So if you have this kind of wool, this is maybe not 100%, but it still work. But if you get 100%, it's even better. So this is something that you could sit on so that you don't feel so cold on your, where. And also you can lie on it and sleep on it. So I think this is really good if you don't have power in your bedroom, in the living room. And they are not very expensive. I think I bought this one at a very cheap, like a dollar store. I think this was like 400 crown, which is about $40. It is not expensive. Even though it's synthetic, I think it will work too. All right, let me get my list because I have written a list of stuff. Window, entrance, and also, those rooms that you have, like for me, look at this room. This room is really locked out already. The one thing very good about the room here, every room has a door frame, so we can move our door around, Like we have one extra door there. So I told LG, hey, we're going to block off that room because we don't use that room. And you see it's dark there, right? So I don't turn on the electricity unnecessarily because I'm not going to use that room. So I only keep to one room. And I'm going to ask LG to lock that room with the door so that, we could maintain the temperature in the kitchen because I'm often in the kitchen. So you can block off those rooms that you don't use, like the living room, if you're not there to watch TV, or the bedrooms, or the storerooms, utilities rooms. These are rooms that you don't need to be there. So I think that is something that we do. And when I don't use a certain room, I will just turn off all the light. People think that, maybe nobody is staying. But then in Sweden, you have to keep like some lights so that you won't get burglaries, right? So people know that, there's someone at home. You never know nowadays, because a lot of people are not doing so well. Some of them lose job. How many percent I don't know, but the inflation rate is pretty high. Now the government is really worried that there will be more people, especially in the retail side. They are really seriously affecting because nobody is out shopping. So this year Christmas, will be budget. I would maybe do a few video about Christmas too, and also a few video about how to find other alternative, because not many people can afford like a power station or some solar panel, because they are very expensive. Yes, fireplace. If you have a fireplace, I don't have one, but I'm going to show you my fake fireplace. All right, this is an instant fireplace. See, I got my fireplace right away. I don't have to go out and chop wood and then move and then burn. But this fireplace can be used also if I want to, if really there's no electricity. So me and LG, we already planned. We will have to bring woods from our summer house and then bring it here and then heat up the house. This is a man-made one which goes by electricity. It's actually also a heater, but it's very noisy. It makes this silly sound all the time. I hate it. So now I have them on just for decoration purpose. So I think fireplace is definitely something that you can have if you if you have one, use one, because this one hasn't been used for like a few years already. So if we want to use it, we have to get somebody, a professional, to come, and we call that suta, means you have to clear the passageway so that it is fit for using. So right now, we are just using this as a decoration. So this is another alternative, and this is what we do in this room, which is where our kitchen is. We stay here most of the time. So this is like a central heating room, because this fireplace is actually located in the center of this home. And when we light this fireplace, it will heat out all the rooms around it. So this is really, really good to have. Another alternative is you have a fire stove, which is really good. This house is actually built quite early. I don't know, I think it's before the Second World War. So during that time, the Swedish people, they have this kind of firewood stove, right? I'm sure you know what it is. So they have that in the basement. So what I think is that if we are going to move downstairs, we will probably use the fire stove, because that is where you could heat up the house and at the same time you could cook also. So I think that is really important, because if here is being bombed up here, and then at least we have a bunkers downstairs, right? So and also, of course, candles will be also good if you have this kind of. These are really cheap. 4 hours to 6 hours. And then we have this big one. This one I've been lighting like summer until now. It's still so much, I don't know whether it's a super lasting, but every time when I light, it's like 3-4 hours. So these are something that you can buy like when it's still cheap, because if the power goes off, just imagine everybody would be rushing to the supermarket or the stores to buy all this kind of stuff. And candles can keep you warm also. Some people, they like to use this terracotta to create this candle with using the tea lights. I heard that is very, very, very dangerous, because it can explode because the candles were too close to each other. So make sure you just have one or two, and it has to be apart, so you won't have to face this problem. And another thing that I really like, and I just found out very cheaply, this one. This is a photogene, we call that. Good to see you. Hi, Christy. So Photogene. How many of you have this? This is really, really good because it's very cheap. It goes by the oil. You can use the oil. So I bought this one at the second hand and it's brand new, 200 crown. This is about $20. And this will light up at least 14 hours if I fill this up to the top. And this is, I don't know how many of you have this experience with this, because some people say it can be really smelly. And I think it depending on what you are using, right? So they have this lamp oil, which is made for this one. So this one is not very expensive. It's about $3 per liter. So you can use this for at least a week if you are stingy with the amount, because I think people light up when they are really dark and if they need to go out. Otherwise, at home, you just use the candle. You know, it's warm enough. It's good to keep the house warm. But this one is good to have when you go out and it's total darkness. We are staying not off grid, but we have a shop that is across. But of course, you know, if power failure, the shop will not be open either. So, but this is good. If you want to go to the toilet, this is big enough. And I just found out that this one, if you were to buy them brand new, it will cost you about 800 crown to 1,000 crown. And I noticed the price is getting more and more expensive because a lot of people are getting this because it is really good. It not only light up your house very well, it also keep the house warm. So I think definitely if you go to the second-hand shop next time, go and search for this because it is good to have them around the house. It is also one way to keep the house warm, right? So not a bad investment, huh? And also besides this kind of oil, actually you don't need to buy, this kind of oil. I mean, even though it's really cheap, if you have leftover cooking oil, you can actually use that too. Do you know that? I just found out that you can actually fill that thing up with cooking oil. So what you have, I have actually collected cooking oil for many months now. We have a B&B upstairs and we have a lot of cooking oil that is being used once, and then instead of throwing it away, I keep them because we are not supposed to expose our or dispose our oil in the sink because winter is very cold, right? So if you throw the cooking oil in the sink, there are chances that it can get hardened in the pipeline and you might have a lot of problem later. So cooking oil is definitely something that you can use, and instead of throwing away, use it as a lamp oil, and then you save some bucks on that. And cooking oil is much lasting compared to this, I heard. So that is something that you can use. How many of you know about this or do not heard about this? Let me know in the comment, all right? Or you have tried them and, does it smell? Because I never used that before and I'm curious to do that. And I also am trying to DIY because I can't find this lamp on the internet here. All the shop, most of them are sold out. I think it's also because there are a lot of preppers nowadays. They start to realize that this is something that they can get. So I was actually thinking about DIY my own because it's not really that difficult. You just need to find the right equipment. So I'm currently researching on that. And if I come up with any DIY and it works and I've tested that and it's no problem, I'll keep you guys informed. All right. And then also there is, we call it a photogen. It's a heater where you could use the, what do you call that, T3 to heat up, or gas to heat up the heater. I think that one, I'm a little bit skeptical because I heard a lot of people saying on like some forum, it smells really bad. And again, I think it depends on what kind of oil that you're using. But I wouldn't like to smell gas in my house, the whole day. I'm very sensitive to that. smell. And also, I'm going to show you how to cook without electricity. You know, in Sweden, the one thing very good is that we are not totally dependent on gas. I know certain countries like Germany, England, you're using a lot of gas, right? But in Sweden, I think 70–80% or maybe more, you know, are using electricity to cook. But I'm going to show you how we do that, all right? Here, we have this, we call that the camping chair, which is using for camping, which I find, I've used that before, and I find it's really, really good. All right, let me just go here. This is what we call a camping chair. Camping, you know, right? Chair, it means a kitchen. Hi. Okay, so this is how it works. It comes in a box, and then you can fit everything in. I'm going to show you later. So it comes with a kettle, and then it comes with something like that, with a holder where you could put your pot in. And then it also comes with this alcohol. We put tea tree or tea tray, we call that, this one, which is really, really cheap. If you buy in certain store, it can cost up to $5. But if you buy on like dollar store, they sell $3 per liter. So this one you can use for at least 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how you cook. Because this kind of camping stove is basically, it's just used for warming up your food. So you don't expect like Chinese cooking, wow, zi cha, oh, no, not that type. So what you do is you fill up the alcohol inside here, and then you light up, and then you put this on, and then you put this on. This is for safety. And then you put your kettle if you want to boil water. And then I have one extra because I want to use that for cooking like instant noodle. So I have this. And then it comes with 2 pots. This is quite good size. You can use to heat up the soup. And then it has this reusable handle where you just lift up like that. And then you just put them on. And these are the very good material. Sorry. It's very light. If you're going to on the go, you don't want to carry all your big pot and pan, right? Everything is in one small box. So this one, you want to boil some vegetable. This one, you want to cook some rice maybe. And then you even have like a frying pan, like this one. So what you do is you just, like that. So you just have frying pan. And of course, you have to remember all your utensils also. So I only bring those things that I really need. Those things that is unnecessary, you know, just forget about it. Spoon, fork, like this kind of tongs is really, really good. They are not so heavy, so you want to pick them. And then like a plastic, we call that a plastic spoon would be good if you want to stir. And they are really, really light. And then I have some peeler if you want to peel something, and then a big spoon to scoop soup. You'll probably be eating soup all the time, I think. So what you do is that you keep them all this, or you stack them. Yeah. Like that. I find that this is a really good invention. It is, first of all, very light, and it is very easy to bring along. So you can actually put everything in like that. Yeah. And then you just cover them. And it's good that and it has a lid where you can just cover. You know, you might not use everything, so it's good that you cover them after you have used it, or you have some extra. So put them all into a box like this. So I often like to put all my cooking utensils in one box like that. And don't forget to bring all this kind of I like to use metal because you know you can cook them directly and they are durable. You know, if you bring porcelain and then you have to run, ping, 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 right? So metal is really good. It won't break. So what I do is that I put everything inside the box. And of course, this one all can be packed into one small balls. So even this one. And then I have one extra pot where I keep. And then this one is really good. I find that I sew it myself. It's for me to organize because I'm the type, you know, if I can't find my thing, I will go crazy. So it's good. I can see everything here. And it's easier, and you have knives, right? So knives, you don't want to just put them inside, right? If you have small children. So what I do is I have I make one using a cardboard. Then I just put my knives inside like that. And then just one knife is enough. This knife is like multi-purpose knife. So just roll them. And then just put them inside. Of course, this box is not so big, but it fits everything. And then don't forget chopping board, one for meat and one for veggie. So when you need to move downstairs or go to the bunker, it's just one box for all your cooking needs. I don't know how's the situation in public bunkers. I think you are limited to certain space, like if I'm not wrong, it's like 2 by 2 meters or 4 by 4 meters, depending on the location. So this is something that you can bring along. And then of course you need also one more of this box for your food. So next, I'm going to talk to you about water. All right, water is also very, very important. Let me just show you my water. This is just one of my water, which I collected more than 6 months ago. So I have a sticker here, which I write down the date when I fill it, because water can be contaminated and you don't want to drink contaminated water. So you need to change the water. And how do you do that? After 6 months, instead of throwing this away, don't do that, okay? Don't throw it away. Pour into those where you can use it for flushing the toilet, or you can use it for watering the plant or washing the floor. You know, reuse it, because water costs money too. Even though Sweden is cheap, really cheap on water, but I don't waste it. So after 6 months, you have to change it. And how do you do that? Very easy. There are tablets that you can buy to prolong the lifespan of your water. But the tablet is really, really expensive. I bought one box, which is about 150 only. And then you can use like maybe just half a year, or maybe maximum 8 months, you know. So remove the water, put them into another container for watering or whatever you want to do. And then chlorine is all you need. Make sure it is about 5 to 7% chlorine. Just a few drops. People said, oh, 1 teaspoon for 10 liters, right? But I think that is about too much, because if it is a very strong chlorine, it really smells really bad, because it took me like a few rinse, you know, I have to waste a lot of water rinsing it all over again. So what I do is that I just pour about 1 tablespoon to 10 liters of water, and instead of 1 tablespoon, I reduce it to half a tablespoon, and then I just let the water sit inside for at least half an hour. Because if you just rinse it right away, you know, the chlorine is not taking effect. So what I do is that I take water, I don't fill it up with 10 liters. I just fill it up with maybe 1 liter. All right. What I do is I put a chlorine and I put 1 liter of water and then I shake it hard. You just need to do some workout here. Shake, 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 and then let it sit. Turn it, like turn it, because all the bacteria can be accumulated on the handles and on the corners. You never know, right? So water is really, really important. So once you have done that, half an hour been sitting there, rinse it. The way I did it is like I rinse it at least, with hot water, um, using this tap hot water 3 times, because I noticed there's still some smell inside. But that is quite good, because if it doesn't smell anything, then there is no chlorine. There's nothing wrong drinking just a tiny, tiny bit of chlorine. And it's also, you know, a way to, um, use it for other purposes like cleaning, it's hygiene. But if you drink it, I think you might not like the smell. That is why I have this filter. I bought this Brita filter, whereby I use it just for drinking. So usually water use is mostly washing dishes, cleaning yourself, and drinking, right? So drinking, I will be more strict on that. I will rinse it more because I don't want to smell of a chlorine. And once this is done, I filter them with this filter. And then here I can drink this. And then this filter is really good because it can use up to 6 months. If you use it very stingily. So that's water. And then you want to keep them in a dark place. What I do is I keep them in my cellar. I use a black cloth to cover it and really keep them cool and dark and safe, because it's definitely something that you don't want to be exposed to sunlight, because when you're exposed to sunlight, you might get algae growing, the green things, the algae. Not algae. So water, and also the tank that you find, those Coca-Cola plastic bottles. I've been keeping a lot of that from my guests. I didn't throw it away because they are not cheap. This is like 80 crown. It's about $8 for one like that, which I think is really expensive for 10 liters. So that kind of Coca-Cola bottles, I got tons of it. And LG said, "Hiya, why you keep so much? You don't need that so much." I think I have about 100 of them in my basement. So I haven't really filled them all out because I don't want to like keep doing this, because you have to think, every time you have to change, you have to do like 100 or 150. It's really taking you a whole day, right? So you must think, look at the situation of the wall. If the wall is like, oh my God, it's SHTF, the sheet hit the fence, you have to prepare right away, all right? Because you do not know when it's gonna come. And I have one really, really good idea. Is like, when I'm feeling cold, I like to drink tea. Tea is something that I drink like every day. I drink at least 6 cups like this a day, to keep myself warm. And when you have a hot tea, you notice your body really warm up really quickly. Some people, they like to drink coffee, but I find tea is much better. And also alcohol, wine, like whiskey, they are really good. But then it would be very expensive. So if you still can get hold of them, buy just a few, that will keep you warm. Wine is not a bad idea because the alcohol content is quite high, and it will keep you warm throughout the night. And also cooking more. When you eat more, you are not hungry, because when you are hungry, you will get very, very cold quickly. So eat more. When you cook, your house also warm up. I don't know that camping stove can be cooked indoor. I'm going to do research on that, but because that is meant for outdoor. So make sure you check out, all right, on the list stating in the packing whether it can be used on indoor or outdoor. I heard people ever use in indoor, but it has to be a concealed place with, ventilation, because if you don't, it can be dangerous. And then clothing. For me at home, now it's not really, now it's about minus 11 degrees Celsius. So I try to, wear layers. But if you don't have electricity, you really have to wear layers and layers. And nowadays, when I go to the second-hand shop, I go and search for wool clothes. Wool clothes is really expensive here. I went to a shop, a brand new one will cost up to 1,000, sometimes 1,500, up to 2,000. They are crazy. So at the second-hand shop, like this one, for example, I bought this one for $5. Look, $5. And it keeps me really warm. So second-hand shop is something that you must go visit. And then, like all the ideas that I gave you, like this, sometimes you can get them at the second-hand shop, but then you cannot trust them because you do not know what they put inside before, right? Maybe they put fertilizer. Oh my God, then you're going to be in trouble. So like the lamp, like some of the tools, like some of the kitchen things that you can use, all this you can buy secondhand. Let me see if I have the, okay, if you don't have this cooking stove, what are you going to do, right? If you have a chance to cook outside, bricks. I seen a lot of people, they try to push those like preppers items, and they are really expensive. I realized the price for prepper items like this kind of camping stove, it just go up and up, higher and higher every month. And they are not going to be more cheap. They are going to be more and more expensive. So if you can, get them now. Otherwise, another free way to do it, or a cheaper way to do it, if you get bricks, you can cook outside. Get the brick stick like that, and then with the opening, and then you put your wood inside here. Then you put your pot and pans on top. You can cook like the old time, the primitive way. Or otherwise, if you have like a garden, you have a small fireplace, you can also cook there. But the thing is that when you cook outdoor, your neighbor can smell it. So if you have a hungry neighbor, they will chance to come here and ask you, hey, can we join? And then after that, the drama comes. Okay, now questions. If you have any questions, write to me now and I'll answer your questions while I drink. Think about a questions that you like to know, and I'll come closer to you. Okay, I'm going to have a seat here. Let's see, maybe I'll just stand here a while. Any question for me? Otherwise, you can also, I'm just going to click onto here. So I'm going to stay here for a while, just 2 more minutes, and then I'm gone. So if I'm gone and I can't answer your question live, write to me still on the comment. I can answer your question after the live stream. All right. Updates. What have I been doing lately? Recently, I've been, I take courses nowadays, full-time course. That's why I am unable to produce any video currently. Monday to Friday is like a full-time course. I'm studying or learning how to run a business. Our bed and breakfast is run by LG. So LG was thinking maybe, it's time for me to step in and take in responsibility, or maybe we could start a company for real. So that's why I'm taking this course to learn how to manage a business. So my full day from 9 to 5 is fully on the course. It's an online course. So I'm not available during that time. So you tend to see that for me to cook nowadays is really, after your brain is like working all the time, you're very exhausted. You unable to, you just want to rest and take it easy. So nowadays, I just cook really simple food. Luckily, LG is not the type that is complaining or have high expectation. Everything that I cook, he like it. So I'm really glad. And also, we have problem with the car recently. His car broke down. Oh, what kind of business? It's a B&B business. I also want to be doing, because this B&B business has been here 5 years, and we for the past few years we've been catering to workers or engineers who work here locally, because we have a very big factory who produce batteries for cars and all that. So there are lots of workers from Europe that comes here for work. So when they stay here, sometimes it can be like weeks, it can be months. So LG has been running it himself for the past few years, and I only help him out with like taking pictures and doing some social media. So now we are thinking about maybe not just depending on one business alone, because it's not a very big apartment. We only have 6 beds, and we want to do more, like providing more of our expertise, because I've been helping LG to do marketing, and it has been quite successful. I thought, why not I help other people to lease out their home through Airbnb, so that they can get a good income, and also I can get a commission. So I'm currently thinking about that, and I'm drafting my business plan, and see, maybe this could potentially help us to have more income. And the tax here is extremely high. It's like 60%. It, initially, I thought it was 30, 35, 25 maybe. But after taking this course, I was like, oh my God, it's 60%, of that means if you make $100, 60% go to $60 go to the government, and your pension and your sick uh, health care and all that. I know it's really good, but then we're thinking that means we have to sell more, we have to have more income, then we are able to provide that. So some people, they look at our B&B, they say, wow, the price is very high compared to many other countries. Yes, it is high because our what do you call it, our tax is extremely high. That's why it is good that I learn all this skill and know what are the consequences if I were to start one. I know what to expect. So that's the business I'm thinking about doing. And also the car, we have experienced a lot of problem, and LG's car really dead, the black Subaru. So 2 days ago, his son helped him to bring it to the scrap. So we got another car, which is a hybrid car, and it is really good. We've been enjoying that car really very much. We got a car for almost 2 months now. We never even go to the gas station, not even once. So which is really, really good, because the petrol is crazy, so expensive. So maybe hybrid is not a bad idea. And the good thing is, instead of getting a full electrical car, we never know. If, let's say, if there is a power failure for like weeks, like months, you can't go nowhere with an electric car. And then you cannot save the electric car, but you cannot save the energy. And with a hybrid, you can get petrol, you can stockpile them. It cannot be kept for too long unless it's a good, superior, premium quality. So at least you have an alternative. You see, if you don't have electricity, you still have petrol, and that car is really very economy. So I think maybe investing in a hybrid car is not a stupid idea. And in Sweden, we all the petrol car will be banned. So nowadays, if you go to the shop, to buy car, they only sell electrical car or hybrid car. So they are trying to stop. And in Sweden, we have like, we call that, they give you a discount of 50,000 crown. If you buy a brand new electric car or a hybrid car, the government will subsidize you about 50,000 Swedish crown, which is really good. And because that is how they want to encourage people to, think more about the environment and also, save the world or save the planet. I've been having difficulties sleeping nowadays because of the course. There's a lot of homework needed to be done. And I'm also at the same time trying to put up some festive ambience in the house. So like the past 2 days, I've been really cleaning and putting up the Christmas decoration. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I find that this Christmas, I don't know, maybe it's Asian kind of thinking. It's so short, right? So I see a lot of Swedish people, they like to invest a lot of time, money, decorating the house like, oh, so beautiful. Frankly speaking, I don't have the energy to do that right now, at least for this year. So I just try to keep it low key. I don't want to invest so much on unnecessary money on decoration and all that. So I'm just going to, save more money. And, you never know. You may have a lot of money now, but, if the war breaks out, your money might not worth anything. So this is what I've been trying to focus on, how to save money, how to protect and prepare myself. I don't want to scare you guys, but it's always good to prepare. And that is the purpose of my channel, is to share with you a very practical way of thinking. Hopefully you find them useful. If you do, give a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about this video, and I hope to see you in my next. All right. So guys, see you, and take care. All right. Bye bye. Mwah. How do I off this now? I forgot how to use it. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna see what is the highlight. Highlight your channel as unlisted video. Okay. I have to stay here for 1 minute before YouTube could push it to my and then I could mute my microphone too. Unmute them. And I could also share my live streaming to my Facebook group. I hope I answered your question, and I'll see you. All right, bye-bye. How to off it? God. Okay, here.